Hey guys, welcome to solo ReacTalk. Today I'm going to be reacting to the story of Tyrande Whisperwind Part 2, made by Nobbel87. If you want to check out my previous reactions to other Warcraft Monday videos, remember the playlist card will be at the top. Just click on it and you'll be able to access them. Yes, in Part 1 we were given a bit of a backstory of the Night Elves and how they became to be, as well as we were told about Tyrande becoming the High Priestess to Illidan, right? We were told about her companions that were around her and Chandris, her adopted daughter, if I can say that. And we were also told about her connection with the two brothers, the Stormrage brothers, Malfiurion as well as Illidan Stormrage, and how their love triangle ultimately led to her being, well, her choosing Malfiurion over Illidan, and Illidan having his own issues with that and deciding that he will try and save his people and Azeroth a different way. And throughout all of this, the world is coming to an end because of the ambitions of their Queen Ashria, who had made deals with Sargeras and the Burning Legion, and the world, had turned asunder. It was being destroyed into smaller continents, and the Night Elves themselves had the leadership of Tyrande and Malfiurion. While Malfiurion was, him and his druids were mainly just sleeping in hibernation for many years. So I would say that the de facto leader of the people was definitely Tyrande and her sisters, who were protecting the Night Elves from whatever else might still be around from those times, and just protecting Kalandor from any threat. So yes, let's continue with part 2. 3, 2, 1, go.
Hello everyone! Last time we began the story of Tyrande, talking about her origins as novice priestess of Elune, the war of the ancients, becoming the high priestess of their sisterhood, and leading their people into a bright and uncertain future. While Tyrande led their people, Malfiurion guided new recruits in the way of druidism. This meant that they often took very long naps, and this aloofness frustrated Tyrande and her sentinels, though they often sought the druids to help safeguard their lands against threats like the satyr or leftover demons. Few of Malfurion's followers were ever awake to answer the call. You might imagine that would put quite a bit of strain on their relationship, yet Tyrande described it as,
"Ah, Malfiurion, my beloved. For 100 years he slept beneath Moonglade. Whenever I was plagued with doubt, I would descend into his barrow. I watched over him as he slept. Even in slumber, his presence calmed me. I left my fears below the earth and emerged, ready to lead my people. Have you ever loved as I have?"
And while the Night Elves,
I don't think it's possible to love like the way you love someone, Tyrande. Like, that's just so different. That is like a long distance relationship, but in the extreme. Your loved one is in like a coma for so many years, and yet here you are still coming back and forth to him, trying to find solace and companionship from him. But he's asleep. He's not really going to be doing anything. And this is not just like maybe like 5 years or 10 years. This is like hundreds of years. Centuries are passing by. And this guy is still in hibernation. I don't know. Some people, they would just decide, okay, this is not working out. Let me go and find someone who's actually not hibernating and let me fall in love with them or something. I don't know. I'm just saying, some people, they're not that patient. They'll just break up and they'll decide, okay, I'm going to go look for someone else while you continue doing whatever you're doing, while achieving your ambitions, It's not you, it's me. They'll start giving out that speech. So definitely, your love is totally different, Tyrande.
Rebuilt. The scars of the War of the Ancients had definitely left their impacts. Illidan warned them all that the Legion would return one day, and while it did take a few millennia to happen, he would be proven right. Archimonde was someone.
Man, they made Archimonde look hideous in this game, in Warcraft. I think this is Warcraft 3. Oh gosh. They really made him look hideous. Even Manoroth, he kind of, well, no, he actually suits. Yeah, he actually suits. He suits the idea of him also from Warcraft 3 Reforged. So yeah, they're quite similar.
Back onto the world, and he set his sights on that second well, which was hidden beneath Nordrassil. Some of his forces were sent on ahead. Forces like the Pit Lord Manoroth. They were tasked with weakening the forest defenses. Most of all, that pesky wild god Cenarius that had caused them so much trouble in the War of the Ancients. To make that happen, Manoroth left behind some of his demonic blood. A temptation of power that Gromar's Hellscream and his Warsong orcs were unable to resist. When they made war in the forests, stole from the woodlands without asking, and felling trees with reckless abandon, the Sentinels, obviously they fought back. They were as deadly as any foe that the orcs had faced. But it didn't frighten Grum and his warriors, rather it excited them. Still, the orcs were greatly outmatched, especially when Cenarius showed up. That's when they decided to drink demonic blood again, grabbing the power to strike down the demigod, but also chaining themselves firmly back into the hands of the Legion.
Yeah, I saw that in Warcraft 3 Reforged when Hellscream decided to go back and drink the blood of Manoroth. And I was really frustrated with him because, you know, we just had this talk with Thrall. Yes, he was discussing with Thrall, and, you know, we knew who the leadership of the Horde was. It was Thrall, and Gormash Hellscream was, you know, basically like a second in command. And, you know, they knew about the demon blood. They knew that taking this demon blood would become a dangerous adventure that would lead to the downfall of the Horde. But here they are again under Gormash Hellscream's leadership, taking the blood of this demon. So I was really frustrated with him that time when I watched it on Warcraft 3 Reforged. Yeah.
Gro and Jaina would ultimately be able to save Gromash, and Gromash in turn struck down Manoroth, which liberated their people from the blood curse. The damage, it was already done. At the moment of Cenarius' death, the wilds around Hyjal darkened and trembled. Dryads, chimeras, treants, and other fake creatures, they retreated in horror. Though some would return to aid the Night Elves, many would remain in hiding for the duration of the war. Their primal strength was greatly diminished, and so the time to invade Kalimdor had come.
The undead are tireless. There's no way to outrun them.
You see, Lord Archimonde, we need not fear the Night Elves. The Scourge can...
Archimonde, after 10,000 years, how is it possible?
The Legion has returned to consume this world, woman. And this time, your troublesome race will not stop us.
Yeah, it's just as bloody and as ruthless as Warcraft 3 Reforged. You know, how people just are killed like that. Ugh.
Fools! Let her slip away! Find her, damn you! Find her and kill her!
The sight of Archimonde and his vanguard defiling Ashenvale filled Tyrande with shock and fury. But she knew it was only the beginning. The Legion was not in Kalimdor to conquer the forests. The demons wanted to consume the entire world. With the second Well of Eternity, they would have the power to do so. They could open up gateways for the rest of the Legion. Perhaps even for Sargeras himself. And it troubled her that Malfiurion and his followers had not yet emerged from the dream. And surely they must have sensed the corruption spreading. The reason for that was Cenarius' death. When he had fallen, a shockwave blew through the dream, weakening the druids, throwing them into a state of confusion. It would be up to her and the Sentinels to get them up and running, use the Horn of Cenarius, and bring Malfurion back to her side.
It has been 1,000 years since I last looked upon you, Tyrande. I thought of you every moment I roamed through the Emerald Dream.
My heart rejoices to see you again, Furion. But I would not have awakened you unless the need was urgent.
That did it, boys! We've driven them off! Let's regroup back at the base and tend to our wounded.
So, the Outlanders battle against the undead as well. They could prove to be powerful allies against Archimonde and his ilk.
They are mongrels and nothing more. They are responsible for Cenarius' death. I will be damned before I stand with them.
Perhaps you are right, my love. You've changed, Tyrande. There is little mercy left in you.
Long ago I swore to protect this land, Furion. I never had the luxury of sleeping through times of great peril.
If your endless vigil has hardened you, my love, it must be part of your goddess's plan.
Some have asked in the past why they call him Furion in Warcraft 3, and I believe it's merely a nickname. Now Malfurion would soon enough...
I thought maybe it was just a grammatical error or some sort of mistake, especially like with the subtitles. I could also say there, it just said Furion Stormrage. It didn't really say Malfiurion Stormrage. So yeah, I thought maybe that was that, but maybe it is like a nickname that Tyrande gave to him. Yeah.
Find out just how far Tyrande was willing to go to defend their lands. They stumbled across the pathway, which led to Illidan's prison. The blessing of immortality, it was great for the elves, but not so much for the luck to betray her. In darkness, he spent his time, magical bonds keeping him chained, unable to even take his own life. His warden, Maiev Shadowsong, made sure that their prisoner wasn't going anywhere, but our high priestess believed that Illidan could be their salvation.
Illidan? It's been 10,000 years. Could he still be alive? We should free him, Furion. He would be the perfect ally against the undead and their demon masters.
Shouldn't she know whether he's still alive? I mean, she was there when he was arrested, wasn't she? Wait a minute, she hasn't even visited him in prison all this time. She hasn't even come to visit him once. Wow, okay. I know you don't like the guy, but yo, Tyrande, you don't have to be this cruel. I mean, really. He's like your brother-in-law now, you know? But anyways.
No, Tyrande. That beast must never be set free.
But he is your brother.
Be that as it may, he is far too dangerous. I forbid it.
Only the goddess may forbid me anything. I will free Illidan whether you like it or not.
Not even the guards left to keep an eye on him could stop Tyrande from pushing forwards. She slaughtered any that stood in her way, while Illidan has had centuries to brood on what he would do to those who had incarcerated him. But all that fell away when he gazed upon his beloved Tyrande.
Illidan, is that you?
Tyrande, it is your voice. After all these ages spent in darkness, your voice is like the pure light of the moon upon my mind.
Listen to that. Listen to that. The Casanova has returned.
The Legion has returned, Illidan. Your people have need of you once more.
Wait, why are there so many skulls in his prison cell? I think maybe that's just a game kind of environment setting kind of thing, but you know, in my mind I'm thinking maybe he was eating creatures that... Yeah, let me just stop that line of thought right now. Let me just stop it. Yeah.
Because I once cared for you, Tyrande, I will hunt down the demons. But I will never owe our people anything.
Then let us hurry back to the surface. The demon's corruption spreads with every second we waste.
All his dreams of vengeance, all his plans for retribution, faded away, as if the love...
No, they've been put on hold.
Long years of his imprisonment had never happened. He was astonished by the feeling. He had thought himself hardened against anything and anyone, especially her, but he'd been wrong. A small voice in the back of his mind, and I don't wonder if she had shown up out of kindness or forgiveness. But all that really happened was that she was unsheathing him, unleashing a weapon against the greater threats. No apologies and no remorse. Fair enough, he would do the work, but he would do it his way. He grabbed the skull of Gul'dan and then struck down Tychondrius, while absorbing a whole bunch of power from the artifacts. This transformed him so much that his own twin didn't even recognize him.
Foul demon! What have you done with my brother?
It is I, Furion. This is what I've become.
No.
I don't remember him sounding like this in Warcraft 3 Reforged. That's cool.
Illidan, how could you?
Despite doing what they wanted him to do, the way that he went about it, it was something they weren't down with. So Illidan is banished from their lands, but don't...
And I like how they made him dark like that, you know, with shadow and then there's some blue highlights everywhere. That's quite interesting, because in Warcraft 3 Reforged, he didn't have that. He you know, you could actually see that, okay, this is Illidan here, you know. But in this one, you can't really tell, because he's shrouded in all of this darkness. It's cool.
Don't you worry, he'll come back in just a moment. It still left Archimonde to deal with, and luckily, plans were already set in motion by the Guardian Medivh. He brought Thrall, Jaina, Tyrande and Malfiurion together to stand in the defense of Azeroth. While their forces delayed Archimonde as long as they could, Malfiurion worked on their plan.
10,000 years ago, we Night Elves defeated the Burning Legion. Though the rest of the world was shattered, we were left free to live out our immortal lives in peace, bound to the World Tree. We are its protectors, and through it we were granted immortality and power over nature. Now, at last, it is time we gave that power back.
You realize that we will age as these mortals do. Our powers over nature will wane in time.
If pride gives us pause, my love, then perhaps we have lived long enough already. I will proceed to the summit and prepare our defenses there. Whatever comes, my love, remember, our bond is eternal.
Thousands of defenders died that day, but they did not give their lives in vain. By the time that Archimonde reached Nordrassil, Malfiurion and the Druids, they had completed their work. Countless incorporeal spirits known as wisps, they emerged from the forest around Hyjal, channeling their energies into the World Tree and igniting the enchantments within. Archimonde was instantly destroyed, with most of his undead and demons. A hard-earned victory over the Legion yet again, but not without a great cost. No longer would the Night Elves enjoy immortality or immunity to sickness. They would grow old and infirm. They would die just like all the other mortal races. But those were concerns for later. As for right now, not all of the threats of the Legion are completely eradicated. Up north, there's still the Lich King, with his Death Knight Arthas doing his bidding. Now, while being created by the Legion, the Lich King had no intention to remain loyal. So Kil'jaeden recruited the Betrayer to take care of his wayward servants. In turn, Illidan recruited the Naga. And the Naga are those former highborn elves that were swallowed by the water with the Sundering, willingly joined the old god N'Zoth's side. With his forces gathered, he then set out to grab enough power to get the job done. Hot on his trail, there was his warder Maiev, desperate to return her captive to his cage. Her quest was now rather difficult, after all the power-ups and artifacts boost that Illidan had. One of her forces rushed out to recruit the aid of Malfiurion.
I will go. I will lead the sentinels there myself.
No, my love. The Druids and I can handle.
I am the one who set him free. The responsibility is mine.
Then we shall both go. If this girl's tale is true, Maiev will need all the help she can get.
Elune be praised. I knew you would come, Shondo Stormrage.
I'm glad we reached you in time, Maiev.
Priestess to...
Oh yeah, I forgot that Maiev and Tyrande have some sort of beef against each other. Because I was wondering, why is she only celebrating that Malfiurion is here but not Tyrande as well? So yeah.
Rhonda, I'm surprised you came in person. Are you here to absolve your guilty conscience?
I did what I had to do, Maiev. You are in no position to judge me.
What you did was murder my watchers and set the betrayer free. It is you who should be locked in a cage.
But she didn't murder them. Blame the person who murdered them, you know, with their own hands, not Tyrande. She didn't do it. She would never. That's not her thing. She doesn't kill people who were meant to protect, you know, certain facilities. Or let's just say she doesn't kill her own people, you know. That you have to blame on Illidan.
Stop this, both of you. We're not out of danger yet.
Even back when, Maiev and Tyrande were not exactly close. When she was appointed to become the new High Priestess and then got kidnapped, Maiev mourned her loss, but also commented that she feared her inexperience had betrayed her. Perhaps it would have been better for her if her predecessor had chosen one more seasoned, with a subtle implication that Maiev referred to herself. Tyrande now has 10,000 years of experience, and yet she still went against everything that Maiev had worked for. She had her reasons and trusted in Illidan, but perhaps that trust was misplaced.
I was wrong to set you free, Illidan. I can see that now.
But remember that she did not release him because she trusted him per se. She just needed a powerful person to help fight against Lord Archimond and his Burning Legion soldiers. That's what she released Illidan for. Not necessarily because she likes him or because she trusts him or because, you know, they used to be former friends. No. Because if that were the case, then she would have released him a long time ago. But instead, she only released him now when she needed his assistance. So, yeah.
You've become a monster.
Monster? Is that what you think of me? I have always cared for you, Tyrande. I sought only to prove my worthiness, my power.
Raw power is no substitute for true strength, Illidan. That is why I chose your brother over you.
The betrayer managed to escape their grasp and set sail all the way to Lordaeron. That's where he worked on his spell of destroying the Lich King from afar. Magic that did so much damage that it wouldn't just destroy the Frozen Throne, it would split apart the roof of the world. Malfiurion sensed this. While Maiev and Tyrande, they continued their hunt, ultimately running into Kilfa's Sunstrider, descendant of Duframar's Sunstrider. Again, those Highborn that were exiled for not being able to let go of their magics. They had formed Quel'Thalas, their Sunwell, and evolved into the High Elves, eventually the Blood Elves. And despite Maiev's protests, Tyrande wanted to help their former brethren.
Wait, we have no time for this.
Perhaps once your people are safe, you will help us hunt the demon we seek.
It would be an honor, milady.
We've driven them back, but the second wave is advancing.
We've run out of time. The caravan will not survive another assault.
Kael, get your caravan moving across the river.
The caravan is floating. I don't think I saw this in Warcraft 3 Reforged. Yeah, it looks like a train of carts that are floating. Interesting.
Stay behind and hold the bridge.
That's very noble of you, priestess, but you're no match for a force that vast.
The goddess is my shield, Warden. Elune will grant me the strength.
It's working. She's holding them back.
Merciful goddess.
We must hurry to save her. That current will take her straight into the heart of the undead lands.
No, Kael. Tyrande is a soldier. She knew the risks she took. We have a greater mission to accomplish now, and our time grows short. Your people are now safe. You will uphold your end of the bargain and help me hunt the demon I seek.
Tyrande was left to her fate, while Maiev focused on one thing and one thing only.
Yeah, Maiev really, or Maiev as I called her, she really had no interest in, you know, helping others for them to help her. She was dead set on getting Illidan, no matter the cost. She would even lie to Malfiurion, this person that she holds with such high regard and esteem. She lied to him, saying that no, Tyrande was killed by the enemy, by the Scourge, or by the Lich King, and she said so many of these little lies that evolved into such a big lie. The only issue is that she didn't realize that Prince Kalthas was also there, and he would tell the truth to Malfurion, and Malfurion went ballistic. He was so angry. Well, I think I'm going ahead too much ahead from what Nobbel87 has to say. Okay, let me just keep quiet.
She even lied to Malfurion, told him that Tyrande was torn apart, rather than swept away by the river. That lie would cost her dearly when they finally did get to Illidan, stopped the spell work, and captured her targets.
Fools! Can you not see? The spell we channeled was meant to strike at the undead, our common enemy. My mission was to destroy the Lich King's stronghold of Ice Crown.
And no heed to the cost! Because of you, Tyrande is dead!
What?
Your pardon, Lord Stormrage, but the priestess may still be alive. She was swept downriver, but it's premature to simply assume
Silence,
that...
Kale.
You told me she was torn apart. You lied to me.
The betrayer's capture was our primary concern, Shondo. I needed your help. I knew you would go to her, and we would lose our chance.
Just who is the betrayer now, woman? I must go to her immediately.
Believe me, brother. Despite all our differences, you know that I would never lead Tyrande to harm. Let me help you. My Naga can scour the river for us. Let me do this, at least.
Very well.
What? After all he's done, you would trust this traitor?
Silence! I will deal with you later. Let's go, brother.
Illidan, what trickery is that?
Huh? Oh, guys, I just remember the time when I watched that moment for the first time during my Warcraft 3 Reforged reactions. I was laughing so much at Maeve. She really thought she had it. She thought she could fool these guys and get what she wanted, and that was Illidan. She really was focused on that. It didn't matter about the truth or helping out her own comrades, as long as she got Illidan. And yeah, I was laughing. I was really enjoying that moment. And seeing Malfurion so angry. Oh, it was so good.
This. Have you come to finish me off personally?
No, Tyrande. You must believe me. I've come to save you.
Save me? You risked your life for me. I don't understand.
Whatever I may be, whatever I may become in this world, know that I will always look out for you, Tyrande.
Tyrande!
I knew you would not forsake me.
I thought I'd lost you forever, my love. If not for Illidan's aid, I may well have.
We have had much strife between us, my brother. I have known only ages of hate for you. But for my part, I wish it to end. From this day forward, let there be peace between us.
You have brought much suffering to the world, Illidan. For that, you can never be forgiven. However, you saved the life of my love. For that I will let you go. But should you ever threaten my people again...
I understand, brother. Lordship over this world was never my aim. Only power. Only the magic. I've lingered here too long. I must go. By aiding you, I've betrayed my new master. If I am not careful, his wrath will be my end. Farewell, brother. Tyrande. I doubt our paths will cross again. In Shu Falana.
Fools! Have you no sense of justice?
Maiev, Illidan has atoned for his crimes. He is no longer a threat to...
It's no use, Tyrande. She has become vengeance itself, bound forever to the heart. I only pray that in her zeal she doesn't cause even more havoc than Illidan.
Now, let's go home, beloved. We've earned our rest.
This would indeed be the last time that the paths crossed again. Tyrande and Malfiurion returned home, but what home exactly? As Nordrassil, it was just recently blown up, would still take many years to heal back up. One of Malfurion's fellow druids, Archdruid Fendrel Stackhelm, he came up with a solution. He'd been experimented before with planting happy little world trees from branches of Nordrassil. Now those experiments, they might have horribly failed in the past, but don't you worry about it. Stackhelm got this now. He learned from his mistakes. All the same, Malfurion did not approve. And that was a problem. Because in Stackhelm's mind, a new world tree, it would lead to the potential of bringing back his son, a son that had died during the War of the Shifting Sands. That mindset was being fueled by an ancient old enemy, Xavius. The same Xavius that was turned into a tree by Malfurion. Like the Naga, he too got in touch with the old gods when that whole sundering took place. Rooted deeply in both the physical world and the Emerald Dream, Xavius had become known as the Nightmare Lord, spreading the corruption of the Emerald Nightmare as much as he could. Now he had manipulated Stackhelm to his side, who ambushed Malfurion as he slept in his barrow den. Placing their leader in a deep coma, Stackhelm then took control of the Cenarian Circle and led them to the coastal region of Darkshore, where they joined together to plant their new world tree. The druids named it Teldrassil, or Crown of the Earth, and their new home, it was bright, powerful, and apparently uncorrupted.
I have vision that she lacks.
Brimming with hope, the Night Elves established their city of Darnassus amongst the World Tree's massive boughs. Unfortunately, Fendrel's decision to create the tree without the Dragon Aspect's help, it proved to be a terrible mistake. Without their blessing, Teldrassil was vulnerable to the dark influences of the Emerald Nightmare. From the heart of the Emerald Dream, the nightmare reached out to the tree. Before long, it seeped into the World Tree's essence. Tyrande and the rest of them were unaware of these developments. They were kept busy with other threats to notice. Not even Malfurion's long slumber was that much reason for concern, as the Archdruid had taken long naps before. The High Priestess was of course troubled by Malfurion's disappearance, yet nevertheless she strived to keep the Night Elves from reliving the mistakes of the past.
My heart sleeps in the Emerald Dream.
Which brings us to classic World of Warcraft and the events beyond. But that's a story we'll save for next time. So for now, thank you very much for watching everyone. Subscribe if you like my videos. Leave a like if you enjoyed this one. And until next time. See ya!
Okay guys, that's it with part 2 of the story of Tyrande Whisperwind by Nobbel87. Yes, mainly with part 2 they were focusing more on the Warcraft 3 gameplay and cinematics and storyline, I should say. And yeah, I remember most of it from the Warcraft 3 Reforged, and as well as new information about Archdruid Fendrel Stagehelm, the druid who well, I could say he essentially planted the tree for Teldrassil. Him and his other druid brothers, they helped him out in creating this tree that's now, I'm assuming it's also corrupted with the Emerald Dream. And yeah, it's quite interesting to hear how Malfurion has been put into a coma. I wonder, how did he do that? Did he hit him on the head? Did he give him some sort of poison? What happened for him to be in a deep coma? But yeah, hopefully he's going to be okay. Well, I know he's going to be okay because I've watched World of Warcraft cinematics and trailers, and I know that, you know, Malfurion comes back, especially during the times of Battle for Azeroth. So yeah, he's there, he's around, he's not in a coma forever. And yeah, the love triangle, it really for Illidan, it's truly unfortunate. Like I said before, Tyrande didn't really love Illidan the way that she loved Malfiurion, you know, and she even gave her reasons why she did not love Illidan that way. Where Illidan was, you know, aspiring to have power and to you know, create an audacious display of power, you know, Malfiurion was not like that. He was like the complete opposite to his brother, and Tyrande really liked that about him, and probably Illidan couldn't understand that. It probably made him more angry. I'm not entirely sure about that, but he still loves Tyrande. It's just that, you know, like before, his ambitions are taking over his choices, I should say, you know, absorbing the power, I should say. Yeah, you could have chosen not to become this half demon, half night elf, burning legion creature, you know. He could have chosen not to do any of these things, but he chose them to save himself and save the woman he loves and save her people as well as an extension. But it costed him his further relationship with Tyrande and his own people. Like literally now he's been ostracized. There's no going back, there's no coming back. He's now part of the Burning Legion as a spy, if I can say that. Yeah, as a spy. And yes, like before, he doesn't tell anyone about his plans. He keeps quiet about them. If he had told Malfiurion from the get-go, from the beginning, what is he going to do and how is it going to affect the world, then maybe they could have discussed with each other to say, okay, no, Illidan, don't do this because it's going to affect the whole world if you try and destroy Northrend and destroying the Lich King and the helmet and everything else like that, you know. So rather not do it that way, let's find a different way to do it. But that didn't happen. Miscommunication, paranoia and anger and animosity between the brothers continued to boil over. The only thing that stopped them from actually, you know, getting blow by blow hits on each other was the fact that Tyrande was in trouble and she needed their help. And yeah, Illidan has left. He's gone to Draenor, and yeah, it's quite interesting, really, you know, that their love, I should say, yeah, Malfiurion and Tyrande's love has existed for so long. Because really, honestly, guys, I don't know, unless if that person's my soulmate, I don't think I'll be staying hundreds, thousands of years waiting for this person, you know, because this person will be asleep for so long. Yeah, you better be my soulmate, then maybe I'll think about it that way. But if you're not, I'm sorry, you can go hibernate for as long as you want. I'm going on with my life. Yeah. Tyrande, your guys' love is very, very special. Okay guys, that's it for today. Remember, if you liked the video, please give me a like, comment and subscribe to my channel. Click on notification bell if you want to be up to date with my latest videos, and I will see you next time with part 3. Okay, bye bye.